Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of the Greek New Testament, and I'm reading from the book of Revelation, and chapter 9 we got up to, and this is part of this sequence of the angels sounding trumpets. So, kai hopemptos angelos esalpisen, and the fifth angel, this is from salpisdo, we've had that several times, sounded his trumpet. Kai edon astera ek tu uranu peptokota es tengain kai edotheauto hekles tu phriatos tes abusu. And I beheld, or I saw, an astera, accusative from aster, third declension, I saw a star. Now we have a perfect participle here, peptokota. This is from pipto. It's the perfect participle from pipto. The pit root is all that you get that survives from the pipto. So it's an irregular perfect. So it's pipto, pesumai in the future, epeson and peptoka. And this is kosquia kos kotos. This is the participle, the perfect participle from that perfect form. So it means having fallen. So I saw a star having fallen to the earth, ek tu uranu, from the heaven. Kai edotheauto, and now the subject here is kleis. Sometimes in earlier Greek was spelt with an eta and an iota subscript. Here it's just kleis. It means a key. So the key of the phriatos. This is a third declension neuter noun. It comes from free R with a rho. If you're looking this up, it's phi, rho, epsilon, alpha, rho. This is the genitive. So phria is a well. Top phria, third declension. So the key of the well of the abusu, of the abyss, of the bottomless pit, edothe was given to him. Of course, we get our word abyss from this. Kai anoixen, tot, and then the next page says phria to abyssu. This is from anoigo. We've had that before. This is the aorist. They've augmented it incorrectly here, but that's happened to this verb much earlier on. So he opened. Now there's the nominative there, top phria. As I mentioned, it's a neuter third declension noun. There's the nominative. He opened the well of the abyss. Kai anebe kapnos ek tu phriatos hos kapnos kaminu megales kai eskotothe ho helios kai ho aer ek tu kapnu tu phriatos. And kapnos is the word for smoke. You'll see if you go to Greece, me kapnidze, do not smoke. This is the word for smoke in Greek. So smoke anebe went up from anabino, from the phriatos, from the well. Hos kapnos, like the smoke. Now a kaminos is an oven. It's the Greek word for an oven. So like the smoke from a great oven, or of a great oven. Kai skotothe ho helios, and the sun was darkened. This is from skotoo is the verb. Skotos is darkness. Skotoo is the verb to become, to make dark, and this is the aorist passive here from skotoo. So the sun became dark, was made dark. The sun and the air, is our word air, so the atmosphere, the sun and the air, was made darkened. Normally we'd put after a passive, you use hoppo or a dative, but here it says just use ek. It's as a result of, I think. So it was made darkened as a result of the smoke of the well. Kai ek tu kapnu, exhales then acrides es tengain kai edotheautos exousia, hos ekusi exousia hoi scorpioi tes ges. And from the smoke, acrides, this is a third declension noun. It's the nominative is acris, this is the acrides plural, so it's acris if you're looking it up in the singular. These are locusts. So from the smoke, locusts came out into the earth. And it's feminine, so it's he acris. And authority was given, aorist passive again from didomi, was given to them. And he likes to use hos in the sense of just like or as. So as hoi scorpioi, this is just scorpions. This is the word we get for scorpion is cognate with this. It's the scorpioi. The scorpions, just as they have exousia, normally means authority. It probably has more the sense of power in this particular section, as they have power or authority over the scorpions of the earth have power, have authority. So just to do that bit again. So, and from the smoke, locusts came out upon the earth or into the earth, and authority was given to them, just as the scorpions of the earth have authority or power. Kai erethe, now that's that aorist passive from Lego. So it was, and it's impersonal, I think, it was said autais to them that they might not, and let's get a future here after hina may. Normally you get a subjunctive. This writer uses the future after hina in many, not all the time, but in quite a few examples he uses the future here, perhaps for extra vividness. So it was said to them that they will not. We've had this use of adicio before. It normally means to do wrong, but here it means to destroy or to damage. They might not damage the corton, this is the grass of the earth, nor each chloron, literally each pale or yellowish green thing, so it must mean plant here, nor each tree. So it was given to them that they will not damage the grass of the earth, nor each green thing, so each plant perhaps, nor each tree, ame, except the men, perhaps in the plural here, except man, well, I'll just say the men, hoitines, the very ones who do not have uk ekus etan sfragida to theo epiton metopone, who do not have the sfragis, the seal of God, epitone metopone, on their foreheads. Kai edothe autois hiname apoktenos sinautus, alla hina basiniste sontai, menas pente. Kai basinismos auton hos basinismos scorpiu, hotan paise anthropon. So they were told not to damage any of these things, except the men who do not have the seal of God on their forehead, and it was given to them. So in other words, it was allowed, I think, but literally it was given to them in order that they might not kill them. So in other words, it was granted to them that for the hina, and here we do get a subjunctive from apokteno, present subjunctive, that they might not kill them, that is the men mentioned above, but that that they will be, now here again we're getting a future after hina, that they will be tormented or tortured for 5 months. Now the verb here is basanisdo, which means to torment. It can mean to torture. It's a very strong word. This is the future passive here. So that they will be, so they granted them or allowed them that they, the men, will be tortured for 5 months. And now we get the simple noun basanismos, which simply means the torture. So their torture will be understood like the torture scorpiu of a scorpion. Hotan, followed by subjunctive. This is from a verb paisto, to strike. So we would say bite, but it actually means to strike. So whenever they might strike a man. So just to put that together there. So it was granted to them that they do not kill them, but that they, the men, will be, so we get a change of subject here, that they will be tortured for a period of 5 months, and that their torture will be like the torture of a scorpion whenever it might strike a man. Kai entais hemerais ekenes tse tesus in hoi anthropoi ton thanaton, kai ume huresus in auton, kai epithume susi katathanein, kai fuge hothanatos abauton. We get lots of practice with the future tense here. And in those days, the men, tse tesusin, future from tse teo, so we get an epsilon contract verb, we get the lengthening plus a sigma. The men will seek ton thanaton, death. Greek will put the article, we don't often put it in English, so we'll seek death. Kai ume, and in no way will they find it. So we're getting, again, ume plus the future here. This is the future from heurisco. It's not a subjunctive, but a future. So hureso is the future. This is huresus in third person. And in no way will they find it. And in lots of these kais, this very Semitic use of kai. Kai epithume sus, another future from epithumeo, that lengthens there. Epithumeo is to desire. So they will desire apothenein, to die. Kai fuge hothanatos abauton, and death. Here we get a present. You'd think you might get a future, but it just says death flees from them. Death flees from them. Kaita homoi otata tona credon homoia hippois hetoi masmenois es polymon kai epitas kapelas auton hos stephanoi homoia cruso kaita prosopa auton hos prosopa anthropone. I might just hold it there because it's a very long sentence. It goes all the way, I think, to the end of the page. So now this is there is a noun here, the homoioma. This is the plural. It's one of these third declension nouns in ma. These are very common in later Greek. They turn up in classical Greek as well, but these nouns in ma are quite common in the Septuagint. So it means the likeness of, hence the appearance. So it's literally the appearances. We would probably say in English just the appearance of the locusts. This is just acris again, of the locusts. Understand was homoia, like to, and it takes a dative, like to horses. Heitoi mas menois. This is a perfect passive participle. The verb is he toi masdo, if you're looking it up. So this is an augment in place of a reduplication. Hetoi masdo is to prepare. This is the perfect passive, so having been prepared, it's dative, agreeing with hippois, having been prepared for battle. So just to put that together, so their appearance, we would say, it's plural, but plural for singular. So the appearance of the locusts was like to horses having been prepared for a war, as polymon. Kai epitas cephalus auton hos stephanoi homoioi cruso. There's a variant reading here because the grammar's a little bit odd. I'll just do it literally. And upon their heads, you've got to understand they had So upon their heads, it was as though they had, that's the hose, as though they had stephanoi crowns, homoioi like, and then we get a singular, cruso, to gold. And there are variant readings here. I'll leave you to look at the commentaries and the variant readings, just doing it literally. So it's something like upon their heads, it was as though, understand they had, stephanoi, garlands or crowns, like to gold. It's literally what it is. Kaita prosopa autone, and their faces were like, understand were, like the prosopa, the faces of men. Kai ergon tricas, hos tricas, agunaikon, kai hoi adontes auton, hos leonton esan. And they had hair, literally hairs, plural. This is from that, I mentioned this one before in an earlier reading. This is from thrix, and the accusative, the genitive of thrix is trikos, the theta deaspirates before the chi. So this is the accusative plural. So they had hairs, we would just say hair, like the hair, gunaikon, of women. And their teeth were like, as, understand, those of lions. So their teeth were like those of lions. Kai akon thorakas, hos thorakas siderus. Kai hephone tone pterugon auton, hos phone hamaton hippon polon, trekonton as polymon. And they had, now this is from thorax, we get our word thorax from this. So thorax is a breastplate. It's a piece of armour. So they had breastplates like iron breastplates. Kai he phone. Now phone means voice, but this writer uses it in the sense more of sound. So the sound of their wings, this is from pterux, third declension noun, feminine noun, pterux, meaning a wing. This is the genitive plural. So the sound of their wings was like the sound, harmatone, genitive from harma. Another third declension noun, harmatos, was like the sound of chariots. And then in apposition to that, he adds another genitive without any chi, hippon polone, of many horses, trekontone. This is from treco. This is a genitive participle here from treco, meaning to run. So literally of many horses running to battle, running to war, as polymon. Kai ekus in uras homoias scorpios. Kai kentra. Kai entais urais auton he exousia auton adicesai tus anthropus menas pente. And they have an ura, it's a first declension feminine noun, means a tail. So this is ura. So they have tails like, taking a genitive, like to scorpions. And they have kentra. So the kentra are stings, or perhaps stingers we might say in English, but stings. A kentron, this is a neuter, second declension neuter noun, kentron. It means a goad or a whip. Can also mean a sting, which is what it probably is here. So like to scorpions, so they have tails like scorpions and stings or stingers. And in their tails, this is the genitive from ura, the Greeks get again a bit odd here. The subject is the authority, so perhaps the power in their tails. So their power in their tails, we've got to understand, is able or something here. Adicesa is able to To harm or injure, literally to do wrong to, but we've seen this in the sense of destroy or harm or injure. So in their tails, probably they have or is their authority is in their tails to injure the men for penti menas for 5 months. I'm not sure what the significance of the number 5 is here. Again, you'd need to look at the commentaries on this. Ekus in ep auton basileia ton angelon tes abusu. Onoma autu Hebraisti abadon kai ente Hellenike onoma eke apolluon. They have over them, epi plus the genitive here, they have over them as a king the angel, so this is the accusative of basileus, third declension noun, so they have over them as king the angel of the abyss, of the bottomless pit, who the name for him in Hebrew, Hebraisti, in Hebrew is Abaddon, and he has in Greek, so it's feminine here, you've got to supply glossa here in the Greek tongue, in the Greek language. So he has the name Apollyon in the Greek language, in the Greek tongue. Apollyon, of course, is simply, it's got a capital A, but it means the one who destroys. If you take it as a participle from apolluo or apollumi, you get a later form apolluo. So this looks like it's formed as a participle from this late form apolluo. So the destroyer. So just to put the last bit there, so they have over them as their king the angel of the abyss. The name for him in Hebrew is Abaddon, and he has the name in the Greek tongue Apollyon, the destroyer. And that's the first part of chapter 9.